What's going on, everybody? My name is Carlos Manzanero. I am the head public adjuster and founder here at YFBA Claim Solutions. And if you're watching this video, this one is for the homeowners out there, the policyholders, the people that pay these giant insurance companies the premiums. And, I'm sure you're aware of all of the stuff that's happening right now currently where insurance companies are continuing to hike up the price, right? What's called your premium. So I'm really focused on making sure that I'm putting out information for homeowners to know exactly what they should be doing whenever it comes to preparing to possibly battle their insurance company. So this right here, I'm making this very simple, and later on I will go into extreme detail into all of these. I'm not just going to leave you hanging, but think of this as the 10,000 foot view of what I, as a over a decade long insurance professional, believe that you should be doing when it comes to protecting your home and knowing your rights as an insured. Before I was a public adjuster, I sold policies for almost 10 years for the good neighbor. Everybody knows State Farm. So not only do I know what it's like to negotiate with these claims departments as a public adjuster, but I know what it's like to also sell the policies. And it's truly important that you have an understanding of all of this if you own a home and if you're paying insurance for your home, obviously, or any other property, right? So let's get into this. Get the insurance payout you deserve without the headache or hassle. So first thing you're going to want to do is you need to be proactive and know your policy. If you are not being proactive about this, if you don't know what you're actually covered for, if you sat down, and I've done this hundreds, if not thousands of times, where I sit down with a homeowner and I talk to them about their policy, and then I get them to sign up for it, and they just don't even glance at it. They don't take the time to ask questions. And when you're someone who is selling that policy, a lot of the time it's about getting the commission. I'm not trying to dog on anybody in the career, but it's become more of a salesperson role than the insurance consultant that it should be, the agent that you should be. But that's neither here nor there. I have the experience to let you know that you knowing your policy is going to be the biggest thing that you could possibly do to make sure that you're getting a great result from your claim. You need to know big things, little things, the ins and outs, ask all the questions. So what is step one? Being proactive and knowing your policy. Step two is documenting everything before you have a claim. And I'm going to lay that out for you here. And then the next part is get a public adjuster and max out your payout. So these are all at different times, okay? This is when you're buying the policy and every year. This is every time that you're changing something in your home that is, and again, I'm going to go into this in this training, but keep these things in mind. These are the main key points and the things that you as a homeowner needs to know. But the big thing that I need you to truly understand is whenever you do have a claim, you have the ability to get a public adjuster to maximize your payout. So let's get right into it. Step one, ensure that you're covered and prepared. The first thing you need to do is review your policy and your coverage annually. This doesn't mean, how much is it going to be, and just look at the premium and sign off and pay the next premium, and you're like, I'm good, I'm covered. A lot of the times, changes to policies and renewals include new addendums to the policy, and those addendums are things that can absolutely change what's covered. And if you don't take a deep look and understand what's going on, you're signing off on something that is going to end up biting you in the ass. Yes, and I said it that way, biting you in the ass in the future. So what's the next step? Well, I would get an independent insurance expert's opinion. And when I say independent insurance experts, I mean an independent insurance agent I would rather you go with an independent insurance agent than a captive. So there's two types of agents. A captive agent can only sell policies for one company. So I was captive for my whole career. Actually, I worked for an Allstate agent one time for a very short time. But most of my career was in State Farm, and I was captive. I was not able to sell anything other than State Farm products. And although they had a massive suite of products that sold great things that were able to get me a lot of commissions. I wasn't able to go out and look for different prices the same way an independent insurance agent can, which is something to think about. Because someone that is independent, so I'll give you an example, pretty much anyone at Goosehead, actually everyone at Goosehead is an independent insurance agent. And what they do is they're able to have a conversation with you about what your needs are. And by the way, this is for every time that you are buying a policy or renewing. You need to understand that when you just go in for the price and you don't ask the right questions and you're not prepared, and again, later on, I'm going to get into all of this into way more detail on this channel. But this, again, is the 10,000 foot overview. I suggest that you go to someone that can give you various options, or even me as a licensed public adjuster. I'm licensed by the Texas Department of Insurance. I can look at your policy and tell you, like, hey, you're not covered for this. You're not covered for this. You're not covered for that. This was, right? So find someone who isn't just trying to sell you one product immediately, that isn't just trying to get you in on their suite of products. Everybody's trying to make a buck, and that's understandable. I'm running a business too. But you as the homeowner need to have an understanding that it is no one's responsibility but your own to make sure that you are doing your due diligence. At the end of the day, that is your home, your property. Part of owning a home is understanding that you have to defend yourself and know your rights. Get an independent insurance expert's opinion to make sure that you're in the clear. Next, you're going to create a quick reference cheat sheet for your policy details. Again, I'm going to go into this. This is way easier than it sounds. It's something that you can make on a Google Doc very quickly, or on Word or any other kind of software, word processor like that. And it's truly about having something that you can look at whenever it comes time for a claim, or whenever it comes time, like a checklist. Because you'd understand and you'd have a look at, like, hey, this is my cheat sheet, this is what my policy covers, this is what it looks like, etc. It is so important to have an understanding of what is covered and what is not covered, what your deductible is. And if you are able to look at this correctly, you are going to know what you're covered for. Next, we move on to step 2. So step 2 is protecting your home and possession. Step 2 is protect your home and possessions with smart documentation. So what is that? Well, the first thing you're going to do is I want you to take pictures of your entire home before any damage happens. And you might be saying, like, Carlos, why would I do that? Well, you're doing that because if a claim happens, let's say you do this exercise and you document your whole home, every room, what they look like, the walls, the windows, everything. And a storm comes through and causes major damage. And the insurance company tells you, oh, you know what? Like, that doesn't look like it's from this storm. It looks like it's been from, whatever it was, and we're not going to cover this. You have an existing documentation file that says, hey, look at this picture. And the beauty of everyone having a smartphone now is that pictures come with information that shows when that photo was taken. And you are able to pull that information and say, look, this picture from 6 months ago shows that there was no damage, here. I took these pictures when we renewed the policy, or when I got the policy, even better. But you have documentation, and this isn't something that you just do once. This is something that you need to, like, once a year, right? Whenever you renew your policy. And this little habit is going to make it to where you are 1,000 times more prepared than most homeowners, because sometimes things happen and the insurance companies give you that cop out of, oh, that looks like that was there before, or, oh, are you sure that, it was that kind of material, or, right? And you say, hey, look, here's what the house looked like 6 months ago, a year and a half ago, whatever it is. And you have this ability to be ahead of the game and be prepared for any shenanigans that any insurance company might try to pull on you as a policyholder. Next is store receipts for any expensive items or any upgrades for your home. So the Super Bowl is coming up and you decide you want to buy the nicest, largest, 100-inch projector or whatever it is, something massive for your house. And you're spending over $10,000 on a new home stereo system, whatever it is, right? Don't just add stuff to your home. Don't just redo your kitchen. Don't get new cabinetry. Don't do all of these things without making sure that you have an accessible file. And I recommend something like a Google Drive or a Dropbox or iCloud, whatever. Somewhere where you have a folder that shows, hey, here's when this happened. Here's how much it was. Here's what it cost. Because these, I had a claim recently where they were fighting me that the grade of the cabinetry wasn't high grade, and my client luckily was able to find an invoice from 2008 when those cabinets were built by hand, and just that invoice from 2008 showed that it was more than what they were trying to offer now, and we all know that things have gotten way more expensive since 2008. So it's this kind of stuff that sets you up whenever they're playing a game of chess, and if you know what move to play and you're prepared, it can be a completely different experience than just getting screwed over. What's next? Then maintain a digital claim file for easy access when needed. This is back to the Google Drive, the Dropbox, somewhere where you can very quickly, and if you're not tech savvy or you don't know how to use that, find a teenager or a 20-something-year-old in your life and say, hey, I don't know, offer them $20, take them out to dinner. I don't know, but ask them, hey, can you help me make a Google Drive? Can you help me put some things in the Google Drive? It's for my house. And they'll say, yeah, okay, we use it for school. Seriously, almost every teenager, I wouldn't be surprised if like a 9-year-old could do it for you. But it's something that is so important because you are, again, prepared. This whole thing is about being one step ahead and having like, this is what my house looked like. Remember, your insurance policy is supposed to indemnify you, which means bring you back to the state, your home. It's supposed to bring your home back to the state that it was in before the loss. And if you do not have any kind of proof of how the house was, they're gonna shortchange you. You set yourself, in their eyes, right, in their rule book, you set yourself up for that because you didn't complete your burden of proof. Your burden of proof is the idea that you are the one that is supposed to be able to prove that your home and your belongings look like this. And this isn't just for expensive items. These are for things that matter to you. I would say, let's say you have a home, it's mom, dad, 2 kids. Make a big folder and then folders inside of the folder for each kid's room. And, there's a TV in each room and this is what's in here. And this is our teenager got a new gaming PC and a new system and he likes to stream or whatever. And that stuff is expensive. Put it all together. I'm brain dumping onto you so you understand the importance of this because no one teaches you this. No one takes the time to do this, and I've realized that it is my mission to be able to give you this information. It is so vital for you because this seems small, but I have seen how this has made the difference for tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, 60,000, 50,000, because someone had proof. Please don't overlook this. Please don't think that it's a joke. Please don't be like, oh, the insurance, they've got my back. They do not. Please go look at the news right now. Go see what State Farm is doing in California after the wildfires and tell me that you believe that and I'm not talking about just one. This is the industry in general, that your insurance company is going to go out of their way to pay you more just because they're so nice to you. Like, that's just not how the business works. Be prepared, be aware. So look, these 2 right here are before you have a claim. If you are able to do this before you have a claim, you are making the claim so much, not just better, but you're upping your chances of getting it resolved quickly by, I can't even tell you a percentage, okay? Twice as fast, 3 times as fast, if not getting yourself more of the funds that you deserve. So let's get into this step 3. Don't fight insurance alone. This is if you do have a claim, something happens, Do not fight your insurance company alone. Let a public adjuster win for you. So step 7 is get a free claim review. Know what you're really owed. This is one of my favorite parts about what public adjusters do. And although I am a public adjuster and I want you to work with me, I have to say this. If you find another public adjuster and they're close and you know them, whatever it is, I would much rather you have any public adjuster than just let your insurance company, oh, well, fingers crossed. Find someone, if your insurance company is giving you a hard time, find someone who is a licensed professional to do this. The Texas Department of Insurance knows who we are. We are fingerprinted to help you do this. And it is my personal belief that more people do not know that they have access to this because of the name alone. The name public adjuster is very vague. I like to tell people that it's more like a personal adjuster where, oh, hey, the insurance adjuster is sent from the insurance company, and the personal adjuster is my own adjuster that brings the case up for me. Get a free claim review. I'll sit down with you. Actually, when you do a claim review with me, I help you create a cheat sheet for your policy. I take a look at your policy and I help you create that cheat sheet. I also let you know if I think that you can get better coverage. So these 3 get knocked out. If you believe that you've had a claim or you're unsure or your insurance company lowballed you, get a free claim review. Next, let us handle the adjuster negotiations and the paperwork. If the claim makes sense for you, for me, for my team, for everybody, we decide to sign up. And at that point, you bring me in as your representative, and I'm able to basically talk to the insurance company on your behalf. You don't have to worry about getting back to them. They communicate with me directly, and I handle negotiations. And again, this is what my license is for. My license is to deliberately negotiate with the insurance company in a way that gets you a fair settlement. And the next thing is only so if you let the adjuster okay, take 2. Number 9, only pay if you win, no risk, maximum reward. What does this look like? Whenever you work with a public adjuster, like I mentioned to you, the Texas Department of Insurance knows who we are, and they absolutely have our fingerprints, and we are licensed to be able to work for you and to be your personal adjuster. The beauty of this is that we are literally not allowed to charge you a dime for handling your claim if we don't get you more funds. So I can't come up to you and say, hey, I'll handle your claim. It's whatever price, right? Oh, $5,000. Let's just say that. And say, oh, it's $5,000. And if I don't get you any more money, you still owe me $5,000. That's not how that works. We cannot, I legally cannot charge you, or any public adjuster cannot charge you up front for a claim. So it is, if we win, whatever we win, we get a percentage of it. And what's that percentage? Well, the state caps us out at 10%, which I think is really fair, actually more than fair, because I'm saying, hey, hand me the whole claim. Let me negotiate. Let me do all the back and forth. Let me create a claim file. Let me make sure that the photos are taken correctly, that we go at bat for you. And for every $10 we get the claim, you get 9, I get 1. And there's other states where it's 20%, but here in Texas, they make it incredibly fair. So if you are unsure about your claim, if you are unsure about your policy, if you want someone who is not trying to sell you the policy, but knows how to look at it and tell you whether it's, hey, I think this is good coverage, or no, I don't think this is good coverage, don't hesitate. Reach out. I'll review your policy. I'll review your claim. This is part of the service that we are licensed to deliver for the state. We are here to help you be prepared. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. My name is Carlos Manzanero. This is YFPA Claim Solutions, and we are your favorite public adjuster. Thanks.